Welcome to the Fourth Line Hockey Show. I'm your host, Willie Plouffe. I am here at Royal Sports Shop once again with my winger, Gerald Hasby. Gerald, how are you today, buddy?
I'm pretty good. You, Willie?
You know, I'm doing great. You know, we have a great show today. We got in Sonny Mignacca, who's a goalie coach for Winnipeg Blues, and we're going to have Don MacGillivray, and you know, both great guys. We had Don on before. Sonny's, you know, he's a great goaltender. He's Vancouver Canucks, in the A, you know, Western Hockey League, Medicine Tigers. He stole some pretty good, you know, headlines, that boy.
Yeah, he's going to have some good stories. You know, local kid who played in Medicine Hat, played professional hockey, also played overseas. So he'll shed a lot of light on that subject, you know, for people who wonder what it's like to you know, live the hockey life.
You know, I always, it's great also talking to, I love talking to the tenders because, you know what, they're the last line defense. They stop all the rubber. Like, let's face it, to be a tender, you know, you got to be a special kind of dude. They take a lot of shots, a lot of rubber, a lot of puck coming at you.
Are you born a goaltender or do you become one? I think you're born.
I think so. You know, and I think Sonny can ask that question when we bring him on, right? And also when we bring in Coach Don, we're going to talk about, you know, the Blues had a tough time at playoffs. You know, they led the league. You know, something went wrong here or there. You know, coaching's pretty tough. Things happen.
Well, and you know, the only local Winnipeg-based junior hockey team now in the MJHL. So, you know, for parents and kids who want to get into that avenue of hockey, you know, I'm sure he'll shed a lot of good info on that sort of stuff.
Life is all about chances. Made, given, and taken. Chances missed. And chances that change everything. Chances to try, to fail, and then try again. Chances to grow. Chances to change. Chances to learn, teach, lead. Chances. It's all about what you do with them. Boys and Girls Clubs of Winnipeg. Donate. Check us out. Make the call.
Before we went off the break, we talked about Sonny Mignacca, who's played some great hockey. You know, he's played professional hockey. He's played in the Dub. Winnipeg boy. He's one of the goalie coaches for the Winnipeg Blues. We got head coach Don MacGillivray in here. We're going to have a great time. We're going to bring in Sonny Mignacca. Sonny, come on in. Welcome to the Fourth Line Hockey Show, buddy.
Nice to see you guys.
Welcome.
Sonny, you know, every time here at the Fourth Line Hockey Show, we always start our guests off. You know what? Tell us a little about Sonny Mignacca.
Well, I grew up here in Winnipeg, and actually I played junior when I was 15 for Donnie. He was a coach of the St. James Canadians at that time, and moved from there to the Western League and had a decent career there. And now I'm continuing just to coach with Donnie, teach goaltenders, young goaltenders. A lot of, I guess, goalie coaches don't want to teach them that young, but I kind of like that when I get them like when they're 7 or 8.
Well, so you know, I tell you something pretty modest. Okay, played in the Western Hockey League, MVP. Okay, drafted by the Canucks, played all over, had some fun. Like you know, you played some pretty good hockey. Like this, let's tell some really good stuff, Sonny. How was the Dub playing? You know, 4 years there, right? You played 4 years there and winning MVP. That's pretty talented.
It was. I mean, I enjoyed the Western Hockey League. It was an experience. You meet a lot of friends. Obviously, the game is top level for that age group. And again, I mean, just going out there and playing against other players that you know are going to move up to the NHL, and it's an eye opener too. I mean. I was there 4 years, and I recall one year we had a unbelievable team. I think Dwayne Sutter was our coach, and we were rated #1 in Canada, and there's about 14 of us drafted. So of course we thought we were just going to show up and we would, you know, win the Memorial Cup, but it didn't turn out that way. But you know, playing in the Western League was great. Obviously, I mean. There's options to go, a little more options available for kids now to go to college and you know, continue from there.
Well, Beeks, I tell you, Sonny's had a pretty good career, big guy.
Yeah, no, it's you know, for a local kid to go through the ranks, playing the, you know, the best feeder league to the NHL, the Dub. So when you were playing in the Dub, what years did you play, Sonny?
I played 92 to 94, 95 in there.
So let's say who best player you played against? The guy who always caused you fits.
Caused me fits. I mean, You know what? Pat Falloon was there in Spokane. He was a great player, and then also there was a guy in Tri-Cities. He still plays in NHL right now.
Ray Whitney?
That's correct.
Ray
yeah,
Whitney,
and he was
Wizard.
excellent. Yeah, but on our team we had Mike Ratche played for San Jose,
Yep.
and then obviously Niedermeyer that's raised the cup a few times. Those two
he's
guys
not bad,
were.
eh?
He's
Not a bad
he's
skate.
talented. Yeah,
Skates like you, Willie, a little bit.
You know
eh?
what? He still calls me up once in a while. And I just tell him, "Needs take it easy, buddy." You know, I understand. You know, I tell him things. That's the way it goes.
So, Sonny, you went to play in the American Hockey League, and then you went and played in Europe. How was that experience for you?
The American Hockey League, I mean, it's a little different. Once you get there, it's a job. You want to keep your job, and I guess you got to take your lumps. And sometimes guys that come from the Western League, they expect to play and want to play often, and that's not the case. You got to kind of pay your dues. If you're not a first rounder, top rated player, but you got to pay your dues. And some guys, they want to play right off the bat, and that's not the case you get. In my case, it was exactly that, and I did a few things that I shouldn't have done, and I regret it, but you know what, it is what it is now. So, and overseas, I mean, again, a great experience. Obviously, the nightlife was excellent over in London. Can't complain about.
Sonny, this is Community Channel, okay, buddy? We'll dial it in. Hold on a second, buddy. That's how we show.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Big Ben, right? So, anyways, over there was great. It really opens up your eyes too. And actually, my roommate over there was Greg Steffen. Remember the goalie, Greg Steffen? His brother was my roommate, so it was kind of neat. And he kind of took me under his wing for the first year. The hockey too was it was somewhat like North American, the London League. So I enjoyed it.
I saw him play. In Basingstoke, you were playing there. It seemed like a great atmosphere, very fun. Fans into it, kind of like soccer. So obviously, hockey's real important to you. You love it so much.
You weren't a groupie, were you, Beeks? You weren't a groupie flying all that way to watch Sonny play hockey.
No. I was there delivering some equipment. Let's say that, right? Yeah. No. So now you're with the Blues, and you obviously love hockey. It's a big part of your life. What do you do with the Blues?
Well, I'm the goalie coach there. I mean, I've coached with Donnie for I think 5 or 6 years now, and what I'm doing there is just trying to tweak the goalies a little bit, not let in the soft goal, obviously, and just help them out. I mean, give them some mental advice, and, goaltending is a tough position. I mean, you got to be relaxed and be focused all the time, because it is, you let in a soft goal, and it's a killer for the team, So, but I can't say anything but positives about the Blues, and being with Don and Billy there, it's been great.
That's like Sonny. I'm not a goalie, but I pitched in baseball. And that mental part of the game is huge, right? That's a big thing for players.
Well, for the goaltender, for sure. I mean, you're sitting at the end by yourself sometimes in the plays in the other end, and say the other goalie's getting 7-8 shots and you've had one, and it kind of gets in your head where I got to make the next save. I don't want to let it in. I don't want the team to see the clock. The shots are 7-1. All of a sudden they score. It's a lot of mental, and again, the soft goals it's tough for a goaltender to rebound from, but the good ones do. And we have 2 really good goaltenders on the Blues. Obviously, they're both going to be 20-year-olds next year, so that's a decision Donnie's going to have.
Donnie might be trading somebody. Something's going on.
Well, one of them or me, so we'll see.
Sorry, let's get some a little bit. We always have fun with our guests, especially guys who played pro hockey and that. Give us one of your favorite stories. I heard a couple from one of your buddies who played with Evan. That there's a snake story and the tire story. You pick one and tell us. Well,
the tire story, I'm not positive what date it was, but it was in October, and there was 3 guys involved. I didn't know this at the beginning, obviously, but I was at my billets, and I had a roommate on the team, and we slept downstairs, and we heard a little bit of racket outside, but we never thought anything of it, and we went to bed. And so 7 o'clock rolls around, we get up, you do your usual stuff, and we went outside and go to walk to my vehicle, and all of a sudden we look at it, and the car's lifted, and the tires are underneath, and the car's on top of the tires. And I'm like, you know, who would do this to me? You know, like it was, I was pretty rattled. So obviously, you know, being a goaltender, I had to be mental tough there, right? And I didn't know really what to do. So I called actually Mike Ratche. So he's the guy that came over and helped me out with the tire situation there. But it was funny, and no one, I didn't know who did it until probably 2 years ago. So it was pretty neat.
No one came clean for a while.
No one did. Yeah.
Well, Gerald, don't get any ideas, okay? I'm gonna walk out there and see my car on top of my tires, buddy.
I think you took your bike here, didn't you?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I do ride my bike. You know, we all need to work out a little bit.
This is true.
I did not ride my bike here, but Beeks is going at me.
No.
So
Sonny, when you were a kid growing up, what goalie? What was your inspiration? What was your favorite goalie growing up?
Growing up was probably, I would say, Tony Esposito, because he's Italian, obviously. But a lot of people used to say Tony O and then Sonny O, right?
Yeah.
And I like the Hawks because of obviously the crest on the front. But he was, you know, I kind of watched him a lot and idled him a little bit. You know, I mean, there was lots of goalies though in that time. Tons of goalies that were excellent. So I do have one story about
give it to us.
about England. My first game there was in one of the Bench and Hedges tournament. And so whatever we played, and I think we won 2-1, and so you do your sticks around the center ice to thank the fans. And then they announced a star. So the star of the game got a carton of cigarettes and a 2-4. So I was like, what did I come to? You know, I'm coming over here and this is what you get, right? So it was pretty...
I think that's you know what? I'll take the 2-4, but not the smokes. Maybe a little bit of one to chew or something. Nothing other than that. Well, Sonny, we want to thank you for coming to the Fourth Line Hockey Show, buddy.
Thanks very much.
It's great having you on, and you know, good luck with the Blues with doing that. It's a great squad over there, and it's awesome. And before we break off, Sonny, we have the two amigos move of the day now. You being a tender, what was, you know, guy coming down in a breakaway, what's the best move you've seen on you?
The best move on me?
Yeah, come on.
The best move on me?
Yeah.
Holy, I was pretty patient on breakaways, you know, but...
Donnie over there saying top shelf, he's saying...
No, I don't think Donnie can even put top shelf on me now, but you know what? I remember Vancouver's camp, and Pavel Bure was there, and he did come down on a breakaway, and he roofed it, and I don't even think I moved. You know, it was bar down, so... And I was a little smaller, so you could see the puck over my shoulder and in pretty easy.
Well, there you go. Hey, I don't know, Gerald, you couldn't save that. So I tell you something, Pavel Bure coming down hard. We're going to break off. We get back. We're bringing head coach Don MacGillivray from the Winnipeg Blues. Have a good talk with him. Right back at you.
I thought indoor tanning was safe.
They said their tanning rays were less likely to cause a sunburn.
What you need to know is UV light from indoor tanning
can cause premature aging.
And even worse, UV light can increase your risk of skin cancer.
Including melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer.
In fact, current estimates are that 1 in 7 Canadians will develop skin cancer.
And 1 person dies from skin cancer about every 7 hours.
I don't want to be one of them.
This message brought to you by the Canadian Dermatology Association.
Boy, Sonny Mignacca was pretty funny. You know, he's had some great stories, and you know, being a goaltender, being a tender, you know, Sonny stopped a lot of rubber.
That was a good Pavel Bure story, eh? Bar down. Have you ever gone bar down?
You know what, Gerald? I'm pretty honest all the time. Of course I have. Like, never. I usually miss the net. That wasn't my forte. I think that was your forte a little bit.
I thought yours were the loose gloves. That was kind of your thing.
You know, I didn't understand why my gloves never stayed on my hands. I always had issues. You know, I didn't get that. Now we're going to bring in head coach Don MacGillivray from Winnipeg Blues. And, you know, Don's the Blues had a tough year this year. You know, they had a great run, and then, you know, they're running a little bit of trouble. But, you know, great organization, good people over there. Let's bring in Coach Don. Hey, Coach Don, how are you? Coach, good to see you again.
Hello, Coach.
Welcome to the Fourth Line Hockey Show.
Thanks for having me.
You were a veteran on our show. This is the second time coming back. You know, Don, you know, people know about you already, but let's get a little bit of experience of your hockey coaching.
Well, I started at a young age of 21, started coaching minor hockey, and then moved to junior, and I've spent the last 23 years coaching mostly in the Manitoba Junior League, but I spent 2 years in Prince Albert, one as a head coach, one as an assistant coach, and 3 years at the University of Manitoba. You know, and everywhere I've been, it's been really good experiences. I started in St. James and was a community team, and I went from there to Southeast, where it was based in the city, and that was a different experience as well. And then went from there to Nipawin. I commuted 4 or 5 times a week to Neepawa, there and back every night. So for 3 years, that was.
That must have been a tough slug, though.
I had some tough nights in the middle of January and February, but and then the PA experience was very good, and came back, coached Portage for 8 years, and I was lucky enough to get an opportunity at the U of M, and now I'm with the Blues. And all those experiences have been real good, and met a lot of great people, and obviously a lot of good players along the way.
And also, Don, you've been with the elite programs, like through Manitoba and all that. Like last time we had you on, you had the under-18s that were going overseas. No,
under-17s.
Under-17s,
yep.
And we were talking about that, and that was a pretty good squad you had that time.
Yeah, I mean, those are really good experiences, especially from a coaching perspective. You get a chance to learn a lot from a lot of different people. You get to work with people maybe you would never work with, get some different ideas. And the under-17 event is just a great event. You're playing against the top players at that age group. So it's just a real top-notch event. And I was fortunate enough to be a guest coach at the under-18s this year, and that's kind of goes in hand with being the head coach of the provincial team. So that in itself was worth the time commitment and the sacrifice that you make along the way. I learned a lot at that week-long event in Hockey Canada. Treat you like gold. For sure, coach has been. Donnie's got a huge resume, Gerald.
Yeah. So Don, coaching elite level hockey for so many years, where have you seen the big changes, whether it be strategy, players, kids, actions, all that sort of stuff?
Well, there's been a change in the game. First of all, I think the game's a lot faster. That even when I finished playing junior, you could hook and hold hold up guys through the middle of the ice. So for a defenseman, let's say, it's a lot tougher game to play now. You have to really be able to skate. The players obviously changed throughout the years. I think there's a little bit more entitlement now than there was back in the day. I think when 20 years ago, every team didn't have a nice dressing room or didn't supply new equipment every year. You use the same things from year to year. Now, every team has a nice dressing room. They have good facilities. They start the year with brand new equipment and get the best sticks and that type of thing. So I think the players get treated really well now, and obviously as you go up in the levels, they get treated even better. So it's that would be the main difference I see.
Now, Don, you're coach. You're not just the coach; you're also the manager of the Winnipeg Blues, right? So you're wearing 2 hats to that squad.
Yeah, I mean it's at the junior A level, you do wear a lot of hats. There's just, in our organization, I'm the only full-time employee. In some of the other teams in the league, there's maybe 2, at the most probably 3. But for the most part, the general manager and the coach does a lot of different things. But I am responsible for our list and drafting and trading and those types of things. And that just comes with the territory. But we have good people. People like Sonny and Billy Keane and Dan Grogowski and a couple of our scouts that do a lot of work. As basically as volunteers, and they do a great job.
I tell you, junior A hockey in Winnipeg, Gerald, we went and watched the playoffs, and, it was a lot of fun. And, I was pulling for the Blues, and, Steinbach guys, because we know the Blues, so we had to pull them that way. So, not saying anything, but you know what? I wish they would have won.
Yeah, well, and, a lot of people out there, the Jets are sold out. There is other hockey. There is good elite level hockey that you can come watch. And, the Blues, they play out of the Iceplex there. Yeah. And maybe tell us if any of our viewers want to bring their kids and family out to a game. And you guys have a spring camp coming up. And
yeah, our season's over for this year, but basically next year starts on Friday. We have a spring camp with midget eligible players, basically, and that kind of gives us what do you call it? A starting point, for the years down the road. I think that you're always looking for your roster to evolve and change, and so some of our players that are coming to camp are going to be involved in the Bantam draft, and then we'll have some players that are on our list that we want to see how they've developed over the year. The Iceplex is a great place for us to play. We're fortunate enough to, you saw if you were at any of our last couple of playoff games, there was 1,200 people there. It was great atmosphere. There's a restaurant upstairs. Our players have their own dressing room. We get to practice at good times, and it's really a great place for us to work out of, and unfortunately, we didn't get as far as we would like, but, you got to give the other team some credit. I think Steinbach played really well in our series, and we had a very good regular season, and so for whatever reason, it didn't translate as well in the playoffs, and sometimes that happens, and hopefully the guys that are returning will learn from that, and we can be a better team next year.
You know what, Donnie, the hockey gods, I was there. I was watching. You guys weren't getting any bounces. The hockey gods were not with you. It was like, wow. I tried to pull some from the sky, Jill. It never happened.
Well, I know you wanted me to ask Don this question, and I know you're a little embarrassed, but Don, for the spring camp, would it be all right if Willie suited up and went out there? And he just wants to measure himself against those midget level players.
Well, we are having trials for a mascot, Willie.
You know what? I might be able to do that. I could fit that in somewhere. You know what? I won't be any Benny or Mickey Mouse or anything like that. But I think you know what, Jill?
Who was your favorite mascot, Willie?
My favorite mascot?
Youppi from the Expos?
No.
You were a Youppi guy, eh?
Greg Hasby. It was top notch. It's so good. Hey, Coach Don, we want to thank you for coming on Fourth Lines Hockey Show. It's always a pleasure having you here.
Thanks for having me.
And before we leave, Joe, I think Sonny was wearing the same sweat top as Coach, and I think Coach made him put that on. I heard him say, "Sonny, you know what? I'm still got you," but he put that on. We're going to break off right now, and once again, it's the Ice Raiders quote of the day, and I take that to my winger.
Okay, so this is another Wayne Gretzky quote, but what he said: a good player is around the puck, but a great player knows where the puck is, and he's going to where the puck's going to be.
Right back at you, Jill. Coach Don was pretty good. He's always got some, very good advice for players. And, talking about Junior A in Winnipeg, Coach is I like Coach. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, dedicated guy. Obviously loves hockey, loves the community. 20 plus years. That's amazing.
And his resume is huge, and like you say, he's coached everywhere. Imagine driving to Nipawin those couple of years in the middle of February, coming back from there to Winnipeg. That's dedication.
Well, you've coached, I've coached. I think sometimes a lot of people don't understand how much time and effort these guys put in. We're coaching, minor hockey. This is not, this is important hockey, elite level, and it's a job. It's a full-time job, and it's tough.
Well, what's that quote? Coaches are hired to be fired, right? That's the Grapes all he says. You got a lot of pressure. If you're not winning and not bringing in people, man, they're going to replace you. We also had Zach Mercury on in promoting his fun stuff. That was pretty good. And Sonny Mignacca, we'll catch you guys next week.
The opinions expressed on the program you have just watched are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of this station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.